Have you ever stood at a point in your life where you knew deep down in your soul that the next step you took would change everything? We've all been there. It's that moment when your heart is pounding in your chest and the world seems to go silent. You are faced with a choice that feels monumental, a path that splits right in front of you. One way leads to the familiar, the comfortable, the safe. The other path is shrouded in mist, full of uncertainty but whispering promises of something more. It's a profound moment of truth where you have to decide what you truly want for your life. That feeling is one I know so well. It's like standing on the edge of a diving board, high above the water. You can feel the slight tremble in the board beneath your feet, a mirror of the trembling inside you. Looking down, the water seems so far away and a million questions rush through your mind. What if the water is too cold? What if I don't land right? But then you look up at the vast open sky and a different question emerges. What if I fly? This is the very essence of a bold decision. It's that internal battle between the fear of falling and the hope of soaring. I think about the incredible people I've met who have stood at that very same crossroads. There was a young woman who packed her entire life into 2 suitcases, leaving behind everything she knew to move to a country where she didn't speak the language. I remember a man who walked away from a secure, high-paying job that his family was so proud of, all to open a small bookstore because that was his lifelong dream. And I can't forget the brave individual who decided to speak their truth in a room full of powerful people, knowing it could cost them their reputation and their career. Each of these people stood on their own diving board, facing their own private fears. They didn't know what the outcome would be. They didn't have a guarantee of success or happiness. All they had was a deep, unshakable feeling that they had to take the leap. It's the kind of courage that doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, "I will try again tomorrow." These moments are what define us. They are the turning points that shape the story of our lives, creating the chapters we will one day look back on with wonder and understanding. Why are we so captivated by these stories of bold choices? I believe it's because on some level we see ourselves in them. We are all the authors of our own life stories, and every great story needs a turning point. When we hear about someone else's daring leap, we can't help but hold our breath. We want to know what happened next. Did they find happiness in that new country? Did the bookstore succeed? Did speaking up change the world, or did it lead to ruin? Their journeys become a source of inspiration and a cautionary tale all at once. The outcomes of these decisions are what we all lean in to hear. They give us a framework for our own lives. We are hungry for the results because we're all searching for a roadmap, some kind of sign that tells us which risks are worth taking. Hearing about someone else's triumph gives us the courage to face our own fears. It validates that little voice inside us that whispers about our own unfulfilled dreams. It's as if their success gives us permission to believe in the possibility of our own, making our own daunting choices feel a little less lonely and a lot more possible. But it's not just the triumphs that draw us in. The stories of regret are just as powerful, if not more so. When a bold decision leads to hardship or failure, it speaks to our deepest anxieties. We learn from the missteps of others. We see the pain of a dream that didn't pan out, and it forces us to be more thoughtful, more intentional about our own choices. These stories remind us that courage doesn't always come with a happy ending. They teach us about resilience, about the strength it takes to get back up after a fall, and about the grace of accepting a path that didn't go as planned. Ultimately, these narratives, both the triumphant and the tragic, are about the human spirit. They are about our universal desire to live a life that feels authentic and meaningful. We are fascinated by those who dare to step off the beaten path because we all wonder what our lives could be if we were just a little bit braver. These stories are not just entertainment, they are lessons in living. They hold up a mirror and ask us the most important question of all: what kind of life do you want to live? And what are you willing to do to create it? After the choice is made and the dust begins to settle, we are left to live with the consequences. This is where the real work begins. It's in the quiet moments that we grapple with the two powerful forces of triumph and regret. When a bold move pays off, the feeling is absolutely electrifying. It's a deep, soul-satisfying joy that comes from knowing you trusted your intuition and it led you to a beautiful place. You feel a sense of pride not just in the outcome, but in the courage it took to get there. It's a powerful affirmation that you are capable of creating the life you imagine. This feeling of triumph is more than just happiness. It's a profound sense of alignment. It's when your inner world and your outer world click into place. You look back at the fear you felt at that crossroads and you can smile because now you know what was on the other side. This victory becomes a cornerstone of your identity. It builds a foundation of self-trust that you can draw upon for the rest of your life. Every time you face a new challenge, you can look back and say, I've been scared before, and I've been brave before, I can do it again. It becomes a part of your personal legend. But what happens when the leap of faith ends in a fall? This is where the heavy weight of what if can settle upon our hearts. Regret is a painful and complicated emotion. It's that nagging voice that replays the moment of decision over and over, asking, why did I do that? We torment ourselves with visions of the life we could have had if only we had chosen the safer path. We mourn the loss of security, the comfort of the familiar, and the approval of others. It can feel like a deep and personal failure, a sign that we were foolish to have dreamed so big. This tension between the life we have and the life we imagined is where so much of our growth happens. It's easy to celebrate our courage when things go well, but it takes a different kind of strength to find the lesson in our regrets. The what if can either be a prison that keeps us stuck in the past, or it can be a teacher that guides us toward future wisdom. We have to learn to sit with our disappointment without letting it define us. We have to find the grace to forgive ourselves for not knowing what we know now, and to understand that even missteps move us forward on our journey. When we look back at the bold decisions that have shaped our lives, what do we truly learn? I believe that every choice, whether it led to a glorious triumph or a painful regret, leaves us with an invaluable gift, a deeper understanding of ourselves. Our greatest leaps of faith teach us what we are made of. They reveal our deepest desires, our hidden strengths, and our most vulnerable fears. They show us the difference between what the world expects of us and what our own soul is calling for. This self-awareness is the true prize, regardless of the outcome. These experiences also teach us about the very nature of decision-making. We learn that there is no such thing as a perfect choice. Every path has its own unique set of joys and challenges. The safe road may have protected us from failure, but it might have also shielded us from discovering our own resilience. The risky path may have brought hardship, but it also brought lessons that could not have been learned any other way. We start to understand that the goal isn't to avoid mistakes, but to make choices that are true to who we are in that moment. Reflecting on our past choices helps us redefine our relationship with fear. We learn that fear is not a stop sign. It's simply a signal that we are standing on the edge of our comfort zone, which is precisely where growth happens. Looking back, we often realize that we were stronger than we thought we were. We survived the fall. We navigated the uncertainty. We handled the outcome. This knowledge makes the fear a little less intimidating the next time we face a big decision. We learn to walk alongside our fear instead of letting it lead the way. In the end, the story of our life is written in these moments of bold decision. They are the ink that gives our journey color, depth, and meaning. Whether we look back with pride at our courage or with gentle wisdom at our missteps, these experiences shape us into the people we are meant to become. They teach us that a life lived fully is not one free of regrets, but one filled with the courage to have chosen it all. And that, I know for sure, is a story worth telling and a life worth living.